about symmetry. The last part of it is frame within your frame, which is a bit special, and you have to find this one out when you are okay, look at the same lighthouse from different angle. So I want to believe this one is coming, this shot is coming from the that's the shed beside the water, and it created a frame. Look at the way it created the frame. Let me show you. And we are using that frame to focus on the object. And one of the things you can do is to zoom in between that frame to do what? To bring the object to focus. That's exactly what we are talking about. That's exactly what we are talking about, and that is the type of, this one that we called framing within your frame. So we're able to touch on 3 of them. Don't forget, we are talking about composition techniques, which is very, very important at a part of the requirement when we are taking, we treated the rule of thoughts, where we have grid about 9, that's about 9 boxes, 3 horizontal, 3 vertical, and we focus on the line that separates the third and the second grid, which is this. The second part of it is we talk about leading line, where we focus on the leading lines that led to the subject in itself, where we pick this as our final product. And we also use this one as an example that it doesn't have to be linear. It can take a form as long as it forms a consistency. That is what we are talking about. And the next one, we talk about symmetry, where we try to balance, as you can see, object and subject, object in the middle of the grid, while it doesn't affect the background, which is the environment around the subject. We talk about framing within your frame, where we still focus on the lighthouse, and then we use the frame in between. And like I said, we can actually use the frame to zoom into what? Into the lighthouse. So we are moving to the next stage, which is using coming up with a professional content within with any form of camera. Like I said when I started, I said that great content isn't about your camera anyway. It's about lighting and composition and composition and audio. So lighting, composition, audio, these are the most important aspect of your recording. So it doesn't matter the type of camera you are using, as long as your composition, your lighting, and your audio is good, you'll be able to make that. I have six steps process for recording a professional content, but here I think I'm going to stop on 5. The 6th one we'll push it till when we move to editing, and I'm also going to add more to this, that is camera handling in itself, how to handle camera to have aesthetic result at the end of the day. So the first step is that you need to pick your scene. Remember I said that camera is not everything. Your environment is most important. When you are recording, your environment is absolutely important. So look at it like what we have. The first thing is you need to pick your scene. And why does picking your scene matters? Most at times people overlook, and those are the amateurs anyway, they overlook their scene. That scene is very, very important. It's very crucial for you to obtain any professional result. And what are you looking at? Number one, the first thing is you want to be sure that we have an interesting background. When we get to the editing part, I'm going to show us how to actually create an artificial background for ourselves. But you need to also understand that even while you are doing that, it must be conceptualized from the beginning. That's what we are talking about. So the first thing is, do we have an interesting background? So talking about interesting background, we talk about a balance. Do we have at that level we are trying to seek symmetry. I remember when I talk about symmetry type talks about balancing the image and the subject and the background. So I'm going to show us something very soon. Then apart from that, do we have depth? Depth in the sense that depth usually separates the subject from the background. We call it like think onion with layer. When you think onion with layers, it separates it. Then at this point you need to also avoid flat, cluttered or blank walls. You need to avoid it. Okay, so but you can use blank wall if you have the intention of creating artificial around it. Just create a blank wall, then remove the blank wall and replace it with it's another one. Let's look at this background. This is an example. This is a room. This room looks great. You agree with me? It actually looks great, and you can actually find a place of symmetry around here. In other words, divide it into 3, 1, 2 and 3, and you position yourself in the middle. You position yourself in the middle, then all other things can do what? Can serve as distraction, or can explicitly separate the subject from the background. That's what it looks like. Then apart from that, you need to clean up your scene. That's the second step. Make sure that there is no distracting. You want to remove every form of clutter that distract you from shooting the right thing out of your environment. You take them off, clean it up. Simple but transformative. That is what you want to have as your background. You need to hide any junks away from the room so that you can have a streamlined space for quality production. That is what you want to do. Clean your scene. The other part is, okay, let us look at it this way. Talk about, remember when I talked about composition the other time. When you are talking and you are addressing and you are reading, it looks great, no doubt about that, but you have too much space in between. There are too much gaps. You can see. What's the goal? You want to fill the frame, and you want to do it intentionally. They call it the rule of thumbs. So you want to actually fill it, and look at it from this point. You agree with me that the second one actually fills in the gap, the frame, than the first one. That's what you want to do when we're talking about composition. You need actually to fill the frame so that you can actually communicate effectively and be able to separate the subject from the background, regardless of how it looks. And look at how beautiful the second one looks like. The fourth part is the lighting. And remember, I said it's the most crucial factor. Lighting can make or break your quality, no doubt about that. Natural light hack, we have talked about that. We talked about window is normally the cheapest source of light, and the reason is simple. When you are doing you want to do this, windows usually diffuse the original source of light and diffuse it and make it soft one. Diffuse the light. Basically what you are trying to do by diffusion is to avoid harsh shadows and imperfections around what you do. So look at the hard light comes directly, it's unfiltered, and it's been achieved mostly when you apply directly bulb into the face of the subject, while the soft light in itself is being diffused. And there are two ways in which you can, whether you use the windows glass actually diffuse, that's natural, or you can actually use an artificial one where between your ring light and the subject you put a filter in between, and that filter will help you to do what? To diffuse the light. You can I think you can. Okay, let's look at affordable gear. You can look at affordable gear. I've talked about the light, that's the light, the light itself, and at the same time the accessory that comes with it. You can go ahead and look at it, how good they can help you. Let's look at the fourth one, which is it's actually audio. The remaining I'm going to will take it in the next. So I want you to also understand that audio takes an important role in your recording. You can record directly into with your camera, which actually serves basically as it serves basically as your your primary source of sound. But you agree with me that especially when we are recording in this type of environment with this large space, you agree with me that the sound can echo. It's not can echo, definitely to be subjected to echo, and if noise is around that place too, it can. Though all of this can be dealt with now using, by the time we get to editing techniques, I'm going to show us how to deal with all of that, in case we don't have we are not buoyant on budget to buy some of this gear that we are talking about. So look at it. Here is the first one. The first one, number one, is from the from the camera itself, while the second one is this one. You can use a tag mic. That one is, they call it pop voice. So you can attach it. It's a lapel type of microphone. You put it and you clip it on your cloth. You can clip it on your lapel, and it works. Especially it works for you, and it captures the voice clean, make it clean. I can tell you this type of gear actually produce times 10 better than your inbuilt mic on camera. That's what I want you to know. The other one is this, and this one also makes a lot. It's a mid-tier type of setup. You have the Rode Smart type of, that's the second one at the middle here. You can attach that. That's like an adapter. You attach it to your body, and then you plug your mic to it. The beauty of it is also that you can also the difference between the first one and the second one is this first one, you actually need to plug. You can plug it and it will record directly on your phone. You can plug it and it will record directly. But this other one, the second one, works better. It works better in the sense that it can record on its own. Then when you are done, you can now pick it up and go and sync the voice when you get to the studio during your post-production. That's what is possible with the second one. The third one is almost the best, and that's it's a wireless type. The option for it is actually DJI, though it's a bit expensive. I think I saw it and I googled it. It's around 500,000 naira here in Nigeria. But it worked it because it comes with two pairs of microphone, and they are on wireless. So you plug it to your phone, that's your device, and You can connect it directly through wireless as well, and it takes over the mic, of your phone, and it records it directly. You don't have to, there's no need for you to synchronize the voice when you are editing, so because it actually takes over the mic of your phone, and your phone can now use it directly to do what? Record directly. So basically that is the introduction part into our course, the recording. The second part of the recording, I will be talking about, or should I say, the next part of the recording, I will be talking about. Okay, so that is the end of this session of the course. In the next section, I will be talking about camera handling, how to handle camera, what it should be like when you are handling, especially when you have the recording gear, especially the gimbal, which will help for stabilization. All right, so I want to thank you for listening to this, and I want to believe that it's going to be a great time with us. So thank you for watching to this point. I'm going to see you in the next video, where we will be taking it to the next level. Till then, bye bye for now.